While I've been working towards my perfection rating, the biggest, most daunting task has been getting the 10 million gold required for the golden clock. And let me tell you what, farming for all of that gold is absolutely soul-crushingly boring. In order to not go insane, I had to diversify my forms of income. If you find yourself in the same position as me, or simply just want to have fun with the game making some more money, I have a list for you. A list of all of the different ways to make money that I could think of, along with all the calculations done to see how much gold per day you will be getting from them. I feel like I have to warn you that a lot of these methods do require you to be in the end game of the game, having Ginger Island unlocked at least. Although a few of them can be done earlier if you have the money to start them up. To start, let's see what we're working against here. To get our starting comparisons, we're going to compare Starfruit, Starfruit wine, ancient fruit, and ancient fruit wine against all of our methods. And since with these other methods I am going to be squeezing the most amount of profit you possibly can, for the Starfruit we're going to assume that you have hyper speed grow and the artisan profession to max out your profits. So, Starfruit sells for 750 gold, subtract the 400 gold it takes to buy the seeds, and it'll take 8 days to grow with hyperspeed grow, which gives you 43.75 gold a day. Obviously this is lowballing since we're pulling from the base price and not higher quality. If we turn it into wine, we're adding another 6.25 days to sell it for 2,750 gold, again subtracting the 400 from the price of the seeds. This comes out to about 193 gold a day. Now let's look at ancient fruit, since I know it's another popular way to make money. While there isn't a price for the seeds, it will take a very, very long time to get your ancient fruit set up, since it takes a whole month for the first fruit to grow. So we're just gonna ignore that for profit's sake. The regrowth on an ancient fruit takes 7 days, and it will sell for 550 gold, making it 78 gold a day, more than the raw gold of the Starfruit. But if we turn that into wine, it now sells for 2,310 gold, adding another 6.25 days for 13.25 days. That's 174.34 gold a day, which does end up with a lower profit than the Starfruit simply because it sells for less money. And yes, you could further increase the quality of the wine through casks, but that would actually lower the gold per day, so we'll just stick with this for a jumping off point. With that out of the way, let's go into our first method. Honey. Each bee house takes about 4 days to produce one wild honey, which sells for 100 gold or 140 gold if you have the artisan profession. However, if you didn't know this, you can have any flower within 5 spaces contribute twice its selling price to the price of the honey. Ideally, if it's fall or if you're on Ginger Island, you'll use the fairy rose to increase the price of the honey to 680 gold. This divided by 4 days gives you 170 gold per day. However, if we have the artisan profession, the honey now sells for 952 gold. Divide that by 4 days and you get 238 gold a day. And while you can put honey into a keg to make mead, it only ever takes the base price of the honey into account, so mead will always sell for 280 gold with the artisan profession, so it's not even considered. So right off the bat, this is one of my favorites because not only is it just more raw money per day, but it also competes in farming in that it doesn't take up a ton of room. You can treat the flower in the center as a sprinkler and the bee houses as a trellis crop. The flower never needs to be replanted if you're on the Ginger Island farm, and the construction materials that go into the bee house are almost the exact same of that of a keg. Definitely a strong contender. And just in case you can't use a fairy rose for some reason, your next best bet is a poppy, which grows in summer. Now for Crystalariums, I wanted to go through the 1 tile wide machines first before we start getting into the bigger things. So Crystalariums have a bit more of a startup price than honey, requiring 99 stone, 5 gold bars, 2 iridium bars, and 1 battery pack for every Crystalarium, costing in total 3,950 gold or 5,600 if you consider the blacksmith profession selling bars for 1.5 times the price. Out of all of the items that you can grow in a Crystalarium, the most profitable is the diamond. This will sell for 750 gold and it grows over 5 days, equaling 150 gold a day. Unfortunately, at this speed, it does mean it'll take 31 days to make back the money you lost making the Crystalarium. So this option, while it does take quite a bit to set up, it does still compare to farming in gold per day. In addition, it's very low maintenance. Every 5 days you pick up the diamond and it's already working on the next one. No replanting, no putting in kegs, just a single step and a quick visit. Slime hutches! So this one's going to be a bit more complicated than the others. So to build the slime hutch, it costs 10,000 gold, 500 stone, and 1 iridium bar, totaling in 12,000 to 12,500 gold, depending on if you have the blacksmith profession. However, there's still a few more steps to go. First step, you have to populate the hutch with slimes. To get your first few slime eggs, there's 2 paths you can go. Either make a slime egg press to turn 100 slime into an egg, you'll need these later anyway, or once you build the slime hutch, every slime now has a 1% chance to drop an egg. Whatever way you get the egg, you'll need to put it into a slime incubator. This will cost you 2 iridium bars and 100 slime, another 2,500 to 3,000 gold cost. You really only need 1, but you can make several if you want to speed up the process. Once you've got a few slimes, as long as you have a mix of males and females, they'll start reproducing on their own, up to 20 slimes. So here's where we finally start getting profit. As long as you keep the trough watered, and you can use any combination of sprinklers that you want to automate this, you will get 1 slime ball on the floor for every 5 slimes you have, up to 4 a day. Each slime ball gives you 15 slime each, and 4 a day makes 60 slimes a day. This then translates into 0.6 slime eggs a day, and these slime eggs are what we're going to be selling for profit. Here's where you'll need those slime egg presses. I'd recommend anywhere from 3 to 5. The slime egg press will give you a random color slime egg, either green, blue, red, or purple. Green being worth the least and purple being worth the most, and no, you can't get tiger slime eggs. Using math to multiply the price of the eggs with their probabilities, the average egg will be worth 1,502.8 gold per egg. And since we get 0.6 eggs per day, this comes out to 908 gold a day. But that's not all. Each slime ball also has a 50% chance to give you a petrified slime, which on its own sells for 120 gold or 156 gold with the gemologist profession. So we'll just say you have that profession, you get
0.5
of these a day on average, adding
78
gold a day. This totals
986
gold a day. Now, while that number is high compared to the others, remember that this is a whole system that you're setting up, not just a single machine that can be replicated an endless amount of times. That being said, I find slime farming to be extremely fun as a side hustle. And you might be wondering, what about killing the slimes for their drops? To which I would call you a monster, but you can do that. It'll just take a lot more work to make it lucrative. Brandigan, by the way, has fantastic videos on how to set up a white slime farm, where the slimes have a 100% chance to drop diamonds. It's also easier than ever with the introductions of tiger slimes, so it's worth a view. Now let's talk about animals. With how much money each animal makes, none even come close to touching the pig. To start, remember that it's a lot easier to get a pig, just buy it for 16,000 gold, and it'll be mature 10 days after that. On a day that a mature pig can go outside, so no rain and it's not winter, it has a 99.99% chance to make a truffle. Let's just pretend that's 100%. The truffle sells for, at base, 625 gold. So that's an easy calculation of 625 gold a day. The thing is, truffles are a foraged item. We have a profession that guarantees all foraged items are iridium quality. And there's another profession that gives us a 20% chance for 2 of whatever we forage. Immediately, that's 1,500 gold per day per mature pig. But since the pigs just aren't done swinging, there's more. If a pig has any amount of friendship, there's an extra chance for more truffles. At max friendship, which is 5 hearts, this value is a 66% chance for an extra truffle. The pig will continue to make extra truffles until this check is failed, which on average gives you 3 truffles a day from a fully mature, full friendship pig. My friends, this is an average of 4,500 gold per day per pig. Yes, this is dependent on the pig being able to go outside, so there's an entire season this won't work, but it is by far the easiest way to make this much money. And just because I know you're wondering it, a deluxe barn can hold 12 pigs. 4,500 times 12 is 54,000 gold per day. It's worth mentioning that a deluxe barn built from scratch is 43,000 gold, plus 16,000 gold for each of the 12 pigs. That brings the total up to 235,000 gold. This will be paid off in 5 days of harvests. I love math. Now for fish ponds. These tend to be one of the more ignored farm pieces, so let's see what it can offer. The main item of profit we're going to look at is roe, since it's always the most common drop from almost every fish, and even more often, it is the most valuable. Roe will be worth 30 gold plus the sale price of the fish divided by 2. The more the fish is worth, the more the roe is worth. So, lava eels. Unfortunately, legendary fish cannot be used. To make the fish pond, it'll cost you 5,000 gold, 200 stone, and 5 of each seaweed and algae. You'll then need to populate it with a fish, in our case, a lava eel. It can be caught easiest at the top of the Ginger Island volcano, and I say easiest with an asterisk because you still have to reel the thing in. If you don't have that unlocked, enjoy the 5.4% catch rate of floor 100 of the mines. Once an eel is in, it'll make another one every 5 days. Yes, even if there is only one, and no, it does not get faster the more eels you have. You'll get 4 quests to allow them to populate beyond 1, 3, 5, and 7 eels. These quests will require 3 fire quartz. The second quest will either require 1 basalt, 2 diamonds, or 1 dwarf scroll 3. The third mission will take 2 mega bombs, and finally, the last one will require 1 iridium bar. And then it's a waiting game to 10 lava eels, so we'll do our profit based on that. Once you have 10 lava eels, there's 8 different outcomes every day. 1, 2, or 3 roe, 5 gold ore, 5 spicy eels, and then 5 or 10 magma geodes, or nothing. I'm only going to calculate this profit based on the roe, because the ore and the spicy eel have better uses than selling, and honestly, if I include all the results of the magma geodes, this can get real complicated real fast. To start, lava eel roe is worth 380 gold each. Aged roe is 760 gold each and takes 3 days to make. But if you have 6 preserves jars, you should be able to age roe as they're made, so we're not going to include that time in the calculation. The artisan profession also gives a bonus to aged roe for 1,064 gold. Now we're going to do the same thing we did with the slime eggs and multiply the price by the probability of them happening on each day. So on average, if you age your roe every time you have the artisan profession and you always sell your roe, you will get 1,053.36 gold a day. So my main reservation for this method is that it needs to be tended to almost every single day, other than the 5% of days where it produces nothing. It also does take quite a while to get going unless you're going to catch every single lava eel yourself, in which it'll take 4 days, 1 day for each quest. Definitely a use at your own discretion situation. Although this does have the bonus of providing spicy eels for your skull cavern runs and magma geodes if you still need to find some artifacts. So playing off that last section, let's talk about outright fishing. The best bang for your buck is going to be fishing on top of the volcano at Ginger Island for a 50% chance of catching lava eels. For the path of least resistance, I would recommend an iridium fishing pole with wild bait and the trapper lure, enchanted with mastery to add +1 level to your fishing level, then with sea foam pudding sprinkled with key seasoning, setting you to an effective level of 16 fishing, plus a lowered escape speed from the fish, and a 50% chance of 2 fish being caught at once. Of course, you don't need all of these. Any combination of what you can pull off will do just fine. I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible. A base quality lava eel sold with the angler profession will sell for 1,050 gold, and a gold quality isn't too hard to pull off with all these buffs. Even if you're not great at the fishing game, you should be able to pull quite a few lava eels in a day's work. Of course, there is a little RNG here, and I can't really gauge your personal skill level when it comes to the fishing minigame, so I can't give an exact gold per day. But it helps if you have some free time on any given day. Go for it. Now there is another path you could take, and that's activating the special key order Extended Family, where you'll be able to fish up family members of all the legendary fish as many times as you want within the 3 days of activating the quest, as long as you don't catch one of each of them. I'd recommend going for the Legend 2, as it has the highest base sell price out of all the fish, being 5,000 gold. It will be the hardest to catch though. The conditions for fishing it up are the exact same as the original legend. You need a fishing level of at least 10, and you need to fish in the level 5 area of the mountain lake. Now let's utilize our last skill and go mining. As with fishing, I have a few different ways of going about this. The first way is farming iridium in the skull cavern. So yes, you could just do skull cavern runs normally and collect whatever you can in a regular run, but there is a more efficient way. Staircases. The easiest way to get staircases in bulk is to make a bunch of crystalariums with jade in them. Each crystalarium will only take 1 day to produce 1 jade. On Sundays, you can trade 1 jade for 1 staircase at the Desert Trader, and profit. You can go as extreme as you want with this. If you didn't know, the deeper you are in the Skull Cavern, the more and more iridium you'll find. Get deep enough and literally every single rock will be iridium. Personally, I'd recommend a minimum of 150 staircases. Otherwise, prepare for the cavern as you normally would. Food, bombs, and what have you. Get to the Skull Cavern as early as you can, either with an obelisk, a warp totem, or the bus. Immediately drop down to floor 130 or so, deeper if you like, and get to mining. I always keep a few staircases with me just in case I come across an infested floor or a floor that's just too annoying. With this method, I've been able to get multiple full stacks of iridium ore in a single day. One full stack of ore, if smelted into iridium bars and sold with the blacksmith profession at 1,500 gold each, will make you 300,000 gold. Now my other option is farming radioactive ore. To do this, you'll either have to have activated or completed the key quest, Danger in the Deep. This changes the mines into an alternate and harder version that now has radioactive ore nodes. Once you've done this though, it's as simple as entering the first floor and exiting over and over again, looking for radioactive nodes. Having the best luck you can helps a lot with this. Smelting the radioactive ore into radioactive bars and then selling with the blacksmith profession will net you 4,500 gold per bar. While I don't find this personally as lucrative as going really deep into the Skull Cavern, it takes a lot less setup. As long as you've completed the key challenge, you can do it whenever you want. And that will do it. If you have any more ways of making money that you've found, please let me know in the comments. I would love to see every single way to make the end game grind less monotonous. And if I get enough, I might just make another video on them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.